And the first game of the weekend this weekend is a West London derby between Brentford and Fulham. Oliver, what have you got to say on this game?
Yeah, so two teams fighting for Europe in this one. Brentford, they're at home. They've been one of the surprise packages, I think, in the Premier League this season. Considering that significant summer of change for them, they lost their manager Thomas Frank, losing key players like Mbuemo and Visser. Norgard, Flecken as well. Key players in the spine of their team from the previous season. So despite that, they've proven that they can compete in the league this season. Keith Andrews has done a brilliant job in his first season as a manager. Yeah, a lot of their players have impressed. None more so, I guess, than striker Igor Thiago. He netted twice in that 2-2 draw against Everton last weekend. He moved on to 21 Premier League goals this season. Only Haaland for City with 22 has scored more, so he's firmly in the race for the Golden Boot this season. And yeah,
That's
Brentford
crazy because do you remember at the start of the season, people were saying Haaland might score 100 goals this season, and now
yeah,
Thiago is one goal behind him. It's incredible.
Yeah, Haaland's form, he's not been quite as prolific in the second half of this season. So Thiago's has caught up quite a lot now, and yeah, he's been sort of the main man really for Brentford, and they will climb above Chelsea into sixth if they beat Fulham this weekend. They've drawn the last four games, so they've made themselves difficult to beat, but struggled to sort of get some wins on the board. But yeah, the fact that they're in contention for Europe is quite impressive, as are a lot of other teams, and as are, of course, Fulham, who they're playing against. They've been very inconsistent, really. They've just won one win in the last five in all competitions, lost 2-0 at Liverpool last weekend. I thought that Fulham actually maybe get something against Liverpool in that one, considering how sort of, Liverpool struggles in recent weeks as well. But they lost 2-0, and yeah, I think inconsistency's been the main problem for Fulham. 13 wins and 14 defeats in the Premier League this season, so that's why they are mid-table. They're down in 12th at the moment, but they've got a chance to sneak into the Europe and maybe get qualify for Europe for the first time since the 2011-12 season. So they've still got stuff to play for as well. Yeah, Brentford Fulham's a tricky one to call, I think, but an interesting one considering where they are in the table at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look back at our preseason predictions, but I certainly predicted Brentford to struggle potentially to go
Yeah,
down
same.
because
Yeah, I
of
think I did too.
all the change that was happening at the club. Keith Andrews has done incredibly. The one caveat I said at the time I remember was Brentford are that type of club who maybe because the system works so well might be able to make that change and bring someone in, but I didn't expect them to do it anywhere near this well. I don't know if you guys felt the same.
Yeah,
Absolutely not. Yeah, I think I backed them to maybe finish 18th. I think I backed obviously backed Spurs to stay up, maybe even backed Wolves to stay up. So you spoke about our expertise, Barney. Maybe need a little asterisk on the
Mm.
title of this video about that. But yeah, I mean, Ollie was saying that Igor Thiago just one goal off Erling Haaland. I mean, what a season he's having. You could think about the World Cup. Will he lead the line for Brazil? I think he has to be in that conversation. Might he even be on the move this summer to a Big Six club? Looking at it from an Arsenal lens, if Gabby Jesus leaves, if Kai Havertz can't overcome these injury issues, I'd love to see him at Arsenal. Honestly, I think he's an absolutely incredible striker, Igor Thiago, and what he's done. I think that yeah, this Brentford system's really profiled him as well. Keith Andrews has been, like you said, Oliver, a magnificent manager, clearly a tactical genius in there, and yeah, just got to hold our hands up when we're wrong and say, Brentford have proven us wrong. They've been one of the stories of the season.
Igor Thiago player of the season?
Could possibly be Semenyo
Yeah,
for what he's done at Bournemouth since Timothy, but
Fernandez.
yeah,
Fernandez. It's got
possibly.
to be Fernandez.
Interesting. It was good. It's interesting. There's such a wide array. I think, and Ben hasn't put forward Declan Rice just yet. I think if Arsenal win the
Mm.
title, maybe he'd be there. But Igor Thiago's got to be in that conversation, hasn't he?
it's fine.
What,
Declan Rice will win the Ballon d'Or. Doesn't need the Premier League player of the season.
what I would say on Thiago is I'd be wary of my mind always comes back to remember Michu at Swansea, or that season he had the
Yeah.
one season wonder when he got 18 Premier League goals, and I just I would like probably a bigger pool of evidence for Thiago if I was looking at a big club trying to sign him. Listen, he's done fantastic this season, but I would want probably if I was Arsenal or I was Chelsea or not Man United really, because I don't think they would want to centre forward, but I would want probably a bigger pool of evidence at this level that he would be able to do that. But yeah, obviously had a fantastic season. Just quickly on Fulham, I think interestingly, what's going to happen with Marco Silva is he's out of contract, isn't he, at the end of the season? And I know his name's been floated around for some managerial jobs. I really like Silva. I think he's a really good manager. I like his emotion as well. He's always sometimes he can go a bit the other way, but you can tell he really cares and he gets the best out of his players. And obviously, like you say, Fulham, I don't think they'll make Europe, but they'll be mid-table, and it'll be interesting to see whether he moves on this summer.
Yeah, I mean, has he done a good job at Fulham for you? It's
I
sort
think
of
so.
when I think of, I think in general everyone thinks he's done a good job, and I would say the same. He has done a decent job, but if I try and think of talking points for Fulham at the moment this season, what is there really? They haven't done
Harry Wilson's
too
been
much.
quite impressive, I think, for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Got the most goals, 10 goals, most assists, 6 assists. So he's been quite impressive. And like Marco Silva, Harry Wilson's out of contract in the summer. So he will like to go out on a high and potentially be interested to see what profile of club will actually go in for someone like Wilson if he is to leave Fulham, or if Fulham do actually sneak into Europe, maybe he decides to stay. But yeah, I think his performances have been quite impressive for Fulham. Yeah.
Barney, how about Harry Wilson back at Liverpool, Mohamed Salah's successor?
I don't think he's at that level. He's been incredible this season, and he's very good for a team like Fulham. I think we need to be aiming for someone a bit bigger and a bit more weight behind them, and a bit more potential in to be there for 10 years to replace arguably the greatest Premier League player of all time.
But
No
do you think
dissensions there.
Wilson?
Blimey.
Are you thinking now like Wilson? Should Liverpool have tried to keep him? Like would he have been? Because I mean, you look at the Chiesa signing just not worked out at all. Would keeping Wilson have been a better option as a
I
Salah
think
backup? But then again, saying that, of course, he wants regular starts. He'd never get that over Mo Salah. So, what are your thoughts on that?
exactly. I think there's been too long between us losing Wilson and this good form to be sort of bemoaning the fact that we got rid of him, to be honest, and we've been successful without him for so many years. It's just this season, it's just Salah, happening to be bad this season and Wilson to be good this season. So I don't think we can have really any regrets about that. He's been incredible this season, deserves all the praise he's got. Yeah, but for me, I don't think Liverpool can really regret getting rid of him.